It is a first warning weather day with scattered storms expected across Central Florida.
Yeah, and right now we are quiet, but those storms are going to quickly fire up across Central Florida. We're going to tell you exactly what threats we're expecting this afternoon.
Plus, damaging winds, hail, and heavy rain leave broken screens and windows in Lake County.
I've been through a couple hurricanes, but nothing like this.
It's underway as residents gear up for another round of severe weather.
Local, live, late breaking. WESH 2 News Sunrise starts now.
Good Wednesday morning, and thank you for starting it with the WESH 2 News Sunrise team. It is the 26th of April. I'm Jason Guy.
And I'm Meredith McDonough. Those storms are expected to fire up throughout the day. And for the exact timing, let's get right over to first warning meteorologist Kellyanne Class.
So right around lunchtime, we're going to be watching for a few isolated showers, although this threat of severe weather is really going to arrive around 2 o'clock, lasting all the way until 8 o'clock this evening. And we have the threat for scattered severe storms, which is why today is going to be a first warning weather day. Level 2 out of 5 from the Storm Prediction Center, meaning that scattered severe threat. And everyone today, if something turns severe, we're talking wind and hail being that primary concern. For now, we are nice and quiet. We don't need to worry about the severe weather yet. But as we look towards 12, 1 o'clock, a couple of isolated showers quickly increasing to a 60% coverage. And again, from 2 until 8. We'll be tracking some showers and thunderstorms that'll turn strong and severe. Coming up in a few minutes, we're going to time it out for you hour by hour. But first, let's get over to Megan with a check on the roads.
Kellyanne, good morning. Traffic looking great through Brevard County this morning. So if you're heading out the door along I-95, not tracking any delays. This is a live look near State Road 46. Looking good northbound and southbound. Still keeping my eye on the crash, though. This is on the off-ramp from State Road 429 to Akowia-Popka Road. An 18-wheeler involved here. Still working to learn more about the extent of injuries. And our chopper is on our way to the scene. We'll have more on those road closures coming up in a few minutes. Mayor.
Megan, many homeowners in Lake County are cleaning up this morning from yesterday's hailstorm. Ring video from Diana Bresky's home in Claremont shows the hail pouring down. A lot of screened-in patios, windows, and cars were damaged. Kimberly and Dakota Rink say that the hailstorm came out of nowhere.
All of a sudden, it just was torrential downpour of ice, just nailing the house, thinking that, windows are going to bust. Is just insane.
Homeowners say that they are grateful their home only suffered minimal damage, some holes in the screened-in patio and small dents on their cars. Unfortunately, though, some people also had broken windows. To get the latest track on when storms could hit your neighborhood, stay with us on air and online with the WESH 2 News mobile app.
This morning, the new people in charge of the land where Disney World is sitting will try to take back control. The Central Florida Tourism Oversight District, formerly known as Reedy Creek, will be meeting. WESH 2's Bob Hazen joins us live. He's in Lake Buena Vista. And Bob, they'll be declaring Disney's deals with the old board invalid.
Yeah, these are the deals that Disney made with Reedy Creek right before the governor's people took over. And really, they transferred a lot of the power from the district to Disney. Disney has not said anything yet about those claims by the new members of this Central Florida Tourism Oversight District or whether they plan to fight these new moves in court. Reporting live at Reedy Creek, Bob Hazen, WESH 2 News.
And new this morning on Sunrise, the Orange County School Board is joining in lawsuits. This is against several of the social media platforms. We want to bring in Sonica Dange now.
Yeah, and Sonica, a number of school boards in Florida and across the country have already joined in.
Yeah, some school boards in Florida, Alabama, even Virginia have already joined in this lawsuit targeting social media. And last night, Orange County board members approved the motion to move forward with it as well. The Orange County School District says by moving forward with the lawsuit, it will also consider hiring more mental health professionals, developing lesson plans on social media harms, and providing training for staff and community. Mayor?
Sonica, Orange County residents will have another chance to speak about safety concerns and gun violence in their neighborhood. The Citizen Safety Task Force is set to meet today at the Renaissance Senior Center on South Econ Trail in Orlando. It starts tonight at 6 o'clock. The search is on for the person who shot and killed a man at an apartment building in Titusville. Police found 56-year-old Carl Wigfall dead in his apartment on Palmetto Street. Family members, friends, and neighbors want everyone to help find the shooter. Investigators believe that Wigfall knew the person who shot him. If you think you have any information that can help Titusville police, give a call, and also crime line at 1-800-423-TIPS.
Let's turn our attention now to Capitol Hill. House Republicans are pushing to vote on a sweeping debt ceiling package as soon as today.
The bill raises the nation's debt ceiling in exchange for spending cuts. If approved, the Limit, Save, and Grow Act would cut the deficit by $4.8 trillion over the next decade, according to the Congressional Budget Office. It would also raise the nation's debt limit by $1.5 trillion into early next year. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy says not all Republicans are on board. The White House argues the bill would hurt programs helping everyday families, seniors, and also veterans.
All right, this is a first warning weather day. We're getting you ready for some impacts from severe weather.
Meteorologist Kellyanne Clash joining us now, timing everything out for our folks at home. Kellyanne?
What you need to know is from 2 to 8 is when we're expecting the strong and severe weather to really ramp up and kick in. We're at a level 2 out of 5 severe weather threat, so that means scattered strong to severe storms across central Florida. This morning, it's dry, it's quiet. By lunchtime, think 1 o'clock, we'll start to bubble up some showers, and then after 1, we're talking scattered showers and thunderstorms with the potential of those turning severe. Continuing into the evening rush all the way through dinner time, we're still going to be tracking scattered thunderstorms and that severe weather threat. And then as we look towards 8 o'clock, things begin to fade out. And then late tonight, the rain clears out. Our severe weather threat is over, so we can go to bed not having to worry about any of that rainfall. But those showers and thunderstorms, just like yesterday and on Monday, are going to pop up very quick. And again, from 2 to 8 is when we have the potential of severe weather. Severe winds and hail going to be the biggest concern. And we're talking large hail at about 1 inch in diameter or even higher. Coming up in a few minutes, we're going to talk a little bit more about today's threat, of course, time it hour by hour, but also there is another day of severe weather on that 7-day forecast. We're going to break it all down for you coming up in a few minutes.
A woman dressed as a clown pleaded guilty in the death of a woman who was once married to her current husband.
How she eluded the law for nearly 3 decades.
Plus, if you have trouble sleeping at night, you may want to watch how much medicine you take. There's a new study finding dangerous levels of melatonin in sleeping gummies.
You're watching WESH 2.
One of the 2 surviving roommates in the deadly attack of 4 University of Idaho students is asking a judge to spare her from the suspect's upcoming hearing.
A new report from the CDC shows certain working conditions can have a significant effect on mental health. In 2021, about 1 in every 37 working adults experienced serious psychological distress, severe enough to require treatment. The rates were significantly higher for those who reported that they had to work when they were sick, as well as for those who did not have access to paid sick leave. People with late night or rotating shifts and inconsistent pay also reported poor mental health.
Where people have the ability to both be able to count on fundamental things like that they're going to be able to pay their bills with their next paycheck.
Experts say when people have a sense of safety in the workplace, it will increase their productivity and ultimately have a positive impact on the company's bottom line.
New on Sunrise, there's brand new research revealing some sleeping aid gummies may actually contain potentially dangerous levels of a specific hormone. The journal JAMA published a research letter where those scientists tested 25 products labeled as melatonin gummies at an outside lab. Melatonin is a hormone that helps regulate sleep. According to the researchers, 88% of the gummies tested were labeled inaccurately. One of the products actually contained 347% more melatonin than what was listed on the label. An expert says consuming a gummy with extremely high levels of melatonin can be dangerous and could have serious side effects.
The Denny's Mobile Relief Diner will be rolling into Central Florida today. The restaurant chain is partnering with Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated as part of the regional conference. The sorority sisters are focused on helping children, citing staggering figures about the amount who suffer from food insecurity. Today's event begins at 10 this morning at the James R. Smith Neighborhood Center parking lot. The sorority will also be handing out books to children and families.
Local PR professionals were honored for being their field's best and brightest. The Orlando area chapter of the Florida Public Relations Association celebrated winners of the 2023 Image Awards. I was there last night on the campus of Rollins College 2MC, and I had a great time. Looking forward to volunteering for the event again next year.
That was awesome. And Jane, I'm noticing the glasses.
The glasses, I know.
Right?
That's hey guys, that's 45. Yeah, I can't read off my cell phone anymore without them.
Hey, that's okay.
But I'm great with long distances, so I can get that teleprompter. No need for, but yeah, sometimes the iPad, the old iPad, holding it a little farther away.
I get it. All right, so we've got a first warning weather day today, so that means we could see the potential for severe storms coming to the forecast a little later on today, Kellyanne.
Yeah, and it's kind of like what we had yesterday and on Monday, where it's the afternoon. Think right after lunchtime from 2 o'clock all the way until the evening hours, where we could have scattered strong and severe storms. We certainly had that potential yesterday where it was severe thunderstorm warning after warning after warning. So again, today is going to be much of the same, and hail, like we saw yesterday in Lake County, could be a problem area wide. This is what we're looking at right now. We have a severe weather threat level 2 out of 5 in place for all of Central Florida. So that means a scattered strong to severe weather threat. Hail, one of the biggest concerns this afternoon, as well as damaging winds. Now, what you need to know this morning is that we're actually off to a very, very quiet start right now. Brevard County looking good with clear conditions, and we have clear conditions area wide. So as you get the kids ready for school, you don't need to worry about that severe weather threat. However, by the time you pick them up from the bus stop, that's when we'll start to see things get dicey, where we'll be tracking scattered showers and thunderstorm. Okay, so temperatures to get you out the door at 6:20. We're in the 60s and 70s. Highs today into the low and mid 80s. As we look towards tomorrow, we'll actually get even warmer, upper 80s. This is why I think we will be eventually upgraded to at least a level 1 out of 5 tomorrow, because we have the heat, we have the humidity, of course, which fuels that instability. Then Friday, another impact day. We'll have scattered showers and thunderstorms with an isolated severe weather threat. Going into Saturday, down to a 30% chance of rainfall, and then Sunday, our rain chances get bumped back up to 70%. Megan.
Kellyanne, monitoring a crash along I-4. This is if you're traveling westbound just before Saxon Boulevard. You can see off onto that right shoulder was blocking some lanes here. So just seeing some minor slowdowns through this area. Wanted to let you know about that if you're heading that way this morning. Also, still keeping my eye on this incident here. This is at Apopka Road. Our chopper is reporting that northbound entrance ramp to State Road 429 is shut down this morning. That's because this 18-wheeler was involved in the crash, did overturn here, but they have 2 tow trucks on the scene working to clear that. Hopefully it gets cleared soon, but for now, what you should know is that on-ramp from Apopka Road is closed if you're heading towards State Road 429. Not seeing any impact to those travel times this morning along I-4 westbound from Altamont Springs to Florida's Turnpike. Both directions were in the green at about 14 minutes. Mayor?
Megan, there is a new NBA Rookie of the Year in town. The Orlando Magic star gaining the title, making franchise history. Plus, the NFL draft kicks off tomorrow. We are looking ahead to the anticipation for one local football star possibly being a top 5 pick.
We'll never be the largest firm. That's a promise. There's a reason people choose Todd Minor Law.
You were young when you moved to Hollywood, right? It was back in the covered wagon days.
What do you still want to accomplish?
George Clooney.
Today at 3, followed by WESH 2 News at 4.
There is just one more day until the kickoff of the NFL draft, and prospects from all over the nation are traveling to Kansas City, including a former Apopka Blue Darter, Jalen Carter.
WESH News' Sheldon Dutez is keeping a close eye on the draft this morning. And Sheldon, this is big for Central Florida.
It really is, guys. It's very exciting, too. Carter is a former University of Georgia Bulldog, and the reports show him possibly being a top 5 pick.
Yeah, he's in great company there with the Big Diesel and Superman. Consider it null and void.
The Disney deals that could be tossed out by the end of the day. Plus, a bear remains on the run in College Park, while wildlife experts believe it likely won't be hanging around there much longer.
First warning weather on WESH 2 brought to you by DeLuca Toyota in Ocala.
Right now on Sunrise, a death threat against a teacher. Her husband says new measures need to be taken to prevent this from happening to anyone else.
Plus, 2 men accused of murder over an argument about an Xbox have a second go-around at sentencing. What makes this trial different than the last one?
And we're off to a clear and mild start, but severe storms are on the way. We're going to check in with First Warning meteorologist Kellyanne Klass as she times out when wind and hail could develop in your neighborhood.
Local, live, late breaking. WESH 2 News Sunrise starts now.
Good Wednesday morning, and thank you for starting it with the Sunrise team on this first warning weather day. I'm Jason Guy.
And I'm Meredith McDonough. People in Lake County are cleaning up this morning after severe storms brought strong winds and hail to their neighborhoods. And today we do have a chance to see more weather just like this. And that's why our team of meteorologists have issued a first warning weather day. Let's get right over to meteorologist Kellyanne Klass for the timing of today's storms.
Yeah, we're really looking for a couple of isolated showers right after lunchtime. And then from about 2 to 8, that's when we're expecting the strong and severe storms. But first, let's get over to Megan with a check on the roads.
Kellyanne, good morning. Still keeping my eye on an incident here along Ocoee-Apopka Road. This is on the northbound entrance ramp to State Road 429. You can see our choppers live over this morning. An 18-wheeler did overturn here around 3 o'clock this morning, so they're still working to clear this crash. If you are heading that way, that on-ramp is closed and you will be detoured around it this morning. Other than that, no major traffic issues. I-4 looking great really across the I-4 corridor and down into Osceola County. This is a live look from our tower camera looking near Lake Ivanhoe. Starting to see that traffic picking up this morning, but so far no major delays. I'll have a look at those travel times coming up in a few minutes. Jason.
All right, Megan. The governor's people in charge of the former Reedy Creek Improvement District are looking to take back power from Disney today.
The Central Florida Tourism Oversight District is meeting this morning. Bob Hazen is live in Lake Buena Vista. And Bob, the leaders there plan to declare Disney's last-minute deals null and void.
All right, thank you, Bob. A teacher at Celebration High School is returning today after her husband says she was the target of a death threat. He says it was written and drawn out on a bathroom stall earlier this week. He told WESH 2 News his wife took the day off from work yesterday. Based on conversations with the school and law enforcement, she feels comfortable going back. Her husband says he feels the school did all it could, but thinks the district leaders need to add more resources to prevent things like this from happening in the first place.
School district and the principal, they got their hands tied. Their hands are tied. They cannot do that much, especially with no resources and not much training.
We reached out to the Osceola County School District. They said the school is working with law enforcement on the issue.
Senator Rick Scott announced a plan to put armed security at every K-12 school in the nation.
It should be partisan. Republican, Democrat, Independent, every kid ought to be protected. Every parent ought to know that their kid's safe. I don't think we should do anything to have a partisan fight over this. It's been a great job.
The School Guardian Act would create an $80 billion grant program to fund the hiring of the officers. Senator Scott's proposal is in response to the Nashville school shooting. He led a similar effort in Florida after the Parkland school shooting 5 years ago. There is a growing memorial in Flagler Beach for a man killed in a crash over the weekend. FHP says Christian Romero was killed when a teenage driver in an SUV crashed into his vehicle. Now, this was the scene outside of Romero's Tuscany by the Sea, the restaurant which his family owns. FHP says the crash happened along Dean Road at State Road 408 early Sunday morning. They say the teen driver's car was stolen and there were 5 other teenagers inside. A person of interest in a Holly Hill murder is accused of ramming into a police car while officers were trying to arrest him on unrelated charges. 19-year-old Curtis Elliott is being held without bond. Police say Elliott has several outstanding warrants for failure to appear on felony charges. As Daytona Beach officers moved in to arrest him, they say Elliott hit a police car while trying to get away. The officer was not hurt. Elliott is a person of interest in the shooting death of a man at a detailing business on Nova Road last month.
Okay, it is a first warning weather day. That means we're prepping for the potential that we're going to have severe weather.
Yeah, and the timing of it all, big question now. Meteorologist Kellyanne Klass joining us now, because Kellyanne, mostly dry right now, right?
Oh yeah, things are nice and quiet. In fact, we're waking up to a really nice sunrise this morning, but this afternoon, once heat and humidity builds, we'll be watching for scattered strong and severe storms across central Florida.
All right, thanks, Kellyanne. You can stay ahead of any potential severe weather by getting alerts through our free WESH 2 News mobile app. Our first warning weather team will be bringing you the latest details constantly to keep you and your family safe. Make sure you enable notifications to get updates on when storms and severe weather might roll into your neighborhood. Helping to save a pilot's life.
The next thing you know, you drop to the ground.
And then the next thing that come out of the radio was the person's turning blue.
How a TSA agent quickly jumped into action when the pilot's heart stopped.
Nobody loves where they came from more than me, Boston Rob, and I'm back for a new season. This is my backyard, and I can't wait to share it with you.
Boston Rob does Beantown and beyond. Stream for free on Very Local.
A pilot is continuing to recover after suffering cardiac arrest inside the Richmond International Airport.
He is alive in part from the quick thinking of TSA agents. A nearby TSA agent said that he saw the pilot staggering while trying to hold on to a railing.
The next thing you know, he dropped to the ground.
And then the next thing that come out of the radio was the person's turning blue.
The agent quickly jumped into action using his CPR skills, and then the fire chief there provided additional aid. The pilot's heart stopped shortly after paramedics arrived, and that's when the TSA agent quickly grabbed an AED, which helped restart the pilot's heart. The pilot's family says that they are grateful for the actions that helped saved his life. Officials will close most of Yosemite National Park on Friday over flooding concerns in the area. The closure is expected to last for at least 5 days, but the National Service says it could go longer. Severe weather hit Yosemite last month as well. The park closed for 3 weeks when 15 feet of snow fell.
And we're expecting severe weather on this Wednesday here in Central Florida. That's why we're calling this a first warning weather day.
Yeah, timing it all out. Meteorologist Kellyanne Clash joining us now. Kellyanne, we did see some serious hail yesterday and some rough weather in Lake County.
Yeah, and that's definitely going to be the concern for today, not just in Lake County, but really all across Central Florida. Hail, which I feel like something we don't typically talk about in Florida, just in general, but it's certainly the possibility because we have warm air at the surface, but in the upper levels of the atmosphere, we have cold air. So you need that cold air for the hail to form, and that's exactly what we're going to see today. So Central Florida in a level 2 out of 5 severe weather threat, meaning scattered severe storms are likely. Right now, we are quiet to start off our day, and in fact, it is a beautiful start from our tower cam network out at New Smyrna Beach. There goes a bird flying into almost to the camera. It was a beautiful shot, but don't let this shot fool you because we're going to be tracking those strong and severe storms later on today. To get you out the door this morning, we're into the 60s and 70s. Now, the afternoon highs today, most of us into the mid 80s. Tomorrow, even warmer, which is why I do think we'll eventually get upgraded at least to a level 1 out of 5. Isolated severe weather threat. Temperatures nearing 90 degrees, fueling that instability coupled with the humidity. Friday is going to be an impact day for an isolated strong or severe storm. On Saturday, our rain chances drop off to about 30%. That's going to be the best weekend day because by Sunday, we'll be tracking a 70% chance of rain and storms. Okay, let's get over to Megan with a check on the roads.
Kellyanne, good morning. Tracking a couple crashes this morning. This one here is at the Flagler County line. If you're traveling along I-95, this is southbound just before Old Kings Road. You can see blocking that right shoulder here, and it is starting to cause some delays here this morning. So if you are traveling south here along I-95, just keep that in mind this morning. Also keeping my eye on this incident, been going on all morning. There was an overturned 18-wheeler here along Ocoee-Apopka Road, the northbound entrance ramp to State Road 429. You can see our chopper is live over this morning. Looks like they do have that vehicle now back upright, and it is getting closer to those clearing stages. So still that on-ramp is shut down. So if you do need to travel that way, there is a detour in place. Checking in on those travel times right now, I-4, no major crashes. Westbound from Lake Mary Boulevard to Princeton Street, we're at 13 minutes in both directions. Stay with us. We'll have your top stories right after this break.
First warning weather on WESH 2 is sponsored by Morgan & Morgan. Dial pound law on your cell phone.
On the next, WESH 2 investigates. Some of the people that homeowners and business owners trust the most to help them in the wake of a devastating storm are making allegations of fraud in the insurance industry. This could be the biggest insurance fraud after any storm in U.S. history. My special report is guaranteed to open up the eyes of homeowners about what's going on behind the scenes when their insurance claims are filed. WESH 2 investigates Thursday at 11.
Welcome back to Sunrise. Your time now 6:53, and we're getting to a final check of this morning's top stories.
Today is the first warning weather day because of the risk for scattered severe storms. All of Central Florida is under the severe weather risk. We are expecting to see the worst of the weather later on today between 2 and 8 p.m. Wind and large damaging hail will be the biggest threats with any storm that develops.
People living in Lake County already saw a round of severe weather move through yesterday. Many homeowners reported damage to their cars from hail, along with problems for windows and screened-in patios. Look at how it knocked that out. And they are preparing for more storms in the day ahead.
The Central Florida Tourism Oversight District is meeting this morning. This is the group the governor selected to replace the former Reedy Creek Oversight District. They are expected to undo the deals that transferred a lot of the district's power to Disney.
Orange County residents will have another chance to speak about safety concerns and gun violence in their neighborhood. The Citizen Safety Task Force is set to meet today at the Renaissance Senior Center on South Econ Trail in Orlando. It gets going at 6 o'clock.
The resentencing trial continues today for Troy Victorino and Jerome Hunter, the two men convicted in the 2004 Xbox murders. The jury will have to be unanimous in a death penalty recommendation, or the convicted killers will be sentenced to life without parole.
A 25-year-old man remains in a coma this morning after a hit-and-run crash early Sunday morning in Sanford. Police say his truck and a large white pickup were going westbound on 46 when this crash happened. The driver of that white truck did not stop, authorities say. If you have information about the crash, call Sanford Police.
A bear is still hanging around in Orlando's College Park neighborhood, but it may not be there much longer. FWC officers are monitoring the neighborhood until it can naturally find its way back to the woods. Officials recommend securing your trash or pet food since they could attract more bears.
SpaceX is set to launch its Falcon Heavy rocket today from Kennedy Space Center. The launch window opens at 7:24 this evening, and that rocket will be taking a 6-ton satellite into orbit for Viasat.
The Orlando Magic have another Rookie of the Year. Paolo Banchero was the Eastern Conference Rookie of the Month 4 consecutive times, joining Shaquille O'Neal as the only players in franchise history to achieve that honor 4 straight. Now, he also joined Shaq and Mike Miller as the only Magic players to be NBA Rookie of the Year. Congratulations. And we will have one more check of your weather and traffic right after this break.
Closed captioning brought to you by National Floors Direct.
Michelle Imperato on WESH 2 News.
All right, this is a first warning weather day.
Meteorologist Kellyanne Clash joining us now for a final check of the update of potentially severe weather later on, Kellyanne.
Yeah, we'll watch for a few isolated showers developing around 12 and 1 o'clock this afternoon, but it's not until 8 o'clock this evening they'll be watching for scattered severe storms, mainly talking about wind and damaging hail as those primary concerns. Tomorrow, another round of showers and thunderstorms. Impact day for Friday for a few isolated severe storms. Megan.
Kellyanne, still keeping my eye on the closure along Ocoee-Apopka Road. This is the northbound entrance ramp to State Road 429. Our chopper live over it this morning. Almost clear here. Those tow trucks are on scene. If you are heading that way, though, there is a detour because that ramp is still shut down this morning. Other than that, no major traffic concerns. Want to give you a final check-in on those travel times along State Road 408, eastbound and westbound from I-4 to State Road 417 and back. We're in the green, sitting there at less than 8 minutes.
All right, thanks, Megan. Have a great rest of your day. Our team continues our local news, weather, and traffic on CW18.